Hi friends, and welcome back to Kids in the Kitchen Holiday Edition. So today we're going to be making holiday brownies, and I'm doing a super simple version where I'm using cake mix. So if you saw last time, we made snowman pizza, and today we're going to make a holiday dessert. So stay tuned to see what we're doing. So for this project, what you'll need is either brownies from scratch, or you can buy a brownie cake mix. I'm using Betty Crocker chocolatey chunk, so we'll see how it turns out. So for the brownies, you'll also need a 1/3 cup of vegetable oil, a 1/4 cup of water, and an egg. But depending on what brownie mix you use, it'll tell you the instructions on the back of what you need to add to it. And then I have a tray that I'm going to be putting it in that's already lined with oil, a spatula, and a bowl. For decoration, I'm going to be using candy canes, and I'm also going to be making some icing to decorate them as well, but we'll get to that later. So let's start by making the brownies. So I'm just going to directly follow the directions on the package. I'll also link a brownie recipe down below, one that I really like that you can make from scratch if you want to do that, but I'm just going to use this. There, so my recipe says to preheat the oven. So my recipe says to preheat the oven to 350, grease your pan, which I already did, and then combine all the ingredients together, mix it. Do not use an electric mixer, just use a spoon, and then bake it for, let's see, 35 to 38 minutes. Easy enough. I'll see you when it's done. We are back. So it's been about 45 minutes. The brownies are done. They look so yummy. So I'm gonna put these to the side. And for decorating, I'm gonna make Christmas trees and snowmen. You can also do reindeer, but I don't have pretzels, so I can't make reindeer. But I'm gonna start by making some green icing for the Christmas trees. So for that, I'm just gonna use icing sugar and coconut milk. You can use regular milk if you want. But I don't drink milk, so I'm gonna use coconut milk. So for this, I'm gonna use powdered sugar. I'm gonna use about, I don't need a lot, so I'm gonna use about 3 tablespoons, heaping tablespoons. 1, 2, 3. And 3 is a lot actually. I probably could have done 2, but there. And then I'm just gonna use a splash of the coconut milk because I want my icing to be a little bit thick, not too thin, but runny enough to get out of the bag and nicely onto the brownies. So I'm just gonna mix it together until I have a good consistency. You can also make like a nice icing with butter and everything, but I'm just doing a very simple icing. There we go. So to this, I'm going to add a pinch of salt to cut the sweetness, just a teeny tiny bit, and a splash of vanilla. And I'm also going to get a Ziploc bag to put the icing in so that way I can pipe it nicely onto the brownies. So I got my Ziploc bag and my vanilla. So I'm going to just take a little tiny bit of vanilla. Boop. And now I'm also going to add some green food coloring. Okay. I'm gonna start off with a pretty light color and then build up from there because I don't want it to get too dark right away. I might have made my icing a little bit too thin, but that's okay. I'm gonna add a couple more drops. Ooh, food coloring everywhere. 1, 2, 3. There we go. I like this color a lot more. So I'm gonna open up my piping bag. And I like to fold it down a little bit like this. So that way it's really easy to get all the icing into. Now this icing is more like a glaze because that's how I like it. But if you wanted to make it thick, like a thick icing, definitely feel free to do that. Okay. Push it onto one end. There, and now we're good. So for the brownies, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut them into triangles. Okay, so I'm gonna do one brownie. So I cut it out. I think my brownies are a touch undercooked, so I might stick the rest of the pan back in the oven. But this is what my triangle looks like. All right, so I cut a hole in my bag, so now I can drizzle my icing. Beautiful. Here we go. Now I'm just gonna tilt all the icing to the back of the bag so that way it doesn't drip out. So now it's green and it looks like a tree. Ooh, very slimy. And I'm going to put some Christmas decorations on it. So I'm going to do some stars. Pick out just the yellow stars, I think. There we go. Put these ones back. And I'll top it off with a big orange ball. Like the top star. There we go. Boop. And the more it sits, the less it looks like a Christmas tree. So here is my Christmas tree. I think we can put this in the books as a fail. But only because you can't really see the icing because I made my icing too thin. So definitely make the icing thicker. Oh, the candy canes. 1 second. Okay. Candy cane. I'm only gonna use like that much. Rip it out. Oh, it made it so much worse. Okay, now it's a Christmas tree. But it doesn't matter how it looks. I had so much fun decorating it and making them too, and I think it's gonna be delicious. So I'm gonna try it and see how it tastes. If I can pick it up. It's a delicious brownie. It definitely needs more time in the oven. Okay, so mine definitely needs more time in the oven, but that's okay. I'm just gonna put the whole tray back in. I'm gonna cook for about 10 more minutes. But I had so much fun decorating this. You could also crush up some candy canes and decorate it on top. You can make snowmen by doing white icing and then putting little snowman features on it. You can also do reindeer by leaving it blank and then adding a nose, some pretzels, and some eyes. But yeah, like make it into whatever you want to make it. It's fun, it's easy, it's quick, and it's also delicious because who doesn't love brownies? Like I said before, you can either use box brownie mix or you can follow the recipe down below I have, whichever you want. But thanks for watching, and here is my Christmas recipe, and I'll see you in the next one.